He is a
Just,
mighty awesome individual.
ooh, talking to his kids like that messes my soul. Like I'm a little shook right now. Oh man. Whew, so we're started.
Yeah.
We started on a somber note, and that's okay. Herlocker is the man. That's all.
Yeah, he is.
So make the cough noise. Oh wait, can you hear Lacey watching TV in the other room?
No, I can't hear it.
I can hear it. Hold on, I'm gonna test. I'm gonna close the door real quick. Oh wait, we're live. That's fine.
It doesn't matter. I can't hear. Yeah, so we're live and we're chilling. It's Saturday, 9:30. Or actually like 9:45. Don't know if anybody's actually in the chat. Let me actually jump over to chat and see if anybody's there.
No one so far.
Oh, okay then.
The dead air doesn't matter. See, because they
Not at all.
So they didn't even know that this happened. So cough. Hello, family. Welcome to PSVG OT. Number, I still don't know. Why don't I not look these things up? I feel like at some point in time, we're going to need to do that.
But that would just be prepared. And that goes against everything.
Goes against what we do.
So,
and, yeah. So that sultry voice you just heard is my brother in arms, my OT life partner, if you will, Mr. Dev Atais. Dev, how are you, brother?
I am chilling like a villain on this fine Saturday evening. 9:45 West Coast. It's great.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what time it is my time. And I'm your host, Coach Hulk. It's late. That's all I have to say. Now, Dev, I'm going to tell you about my evening.
All right.
Because it goes into some other stuff. I know I'm supposed to say we're the most unprepared podcast, so that's been said. Checkbox. Mm-hmm. I know I'm supposed to say that we are a relationship building podcast. Checkbox. Mm-hmm. So now let's get into my night. So we go to church at 6. Okay. We have started Saturday church because Sunday's football happens. I'm not missing the Bears this year. So I haven't missed a Bears game in a long time since I missed the Bears game. And so we go to Saturday church. We're leaving, and I'm like, I'm a little tired. I have a late podcast with my brother. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a coffee. And as I get a coffee, I'm like, what would make tonight the best for my wife? The answer to that was Disney World. So I drove my boo thing to Disney World. We get there at 8. It's like 8:15. We see the big light show, the fireworks. Mm-hmm. We go do one of the rides. We walk around and talk. It's good. And I'm like, all right, we're going to leave at 10 to go get some food so I can get back in time for the podcast. And so we go to leave. Do you know what month it is right now, Dev?
It is August.
Do you know what Disney World does in August?
I don't, because I live on the West Coast.
They closed earlier, Dev.
Really?
10 o'clock close time at the Disney World.
Why?
In August. Because August is when they set up all the new stuff and do the changeover and everything. So August is like the 1 month where like some weeks they'll close at 10, some weeks they'll close at 11, some weeks they'll close at 12. Like it's really weird. We got caught in a storm, Dev, of human beings trying to leave the park.
Yikes.
We did not get onto the ferry to get to the parking lot until almost 11:45.
Wow.
We're talking 2 hours almost in line. Now, in this situation, some people were losing their humanity.
Oh, jeez.
My wife and I weren't going to let that happen. Okay. And we literally, like, as we were going through, we bought a Mickey Mouse pancake mold just because who doesn't want Mickey Mouse pancakes? I'm
saying.
Yeah. It was $6. I mean, totally a good buy. And
that's a great buy.
Yeah. But the lines are nuts because the store's nuts because everybody's fleeing. People are trying to shop. And these 3 people are working the counters and there's this one huge line, right? And so Lacey sees that the middle line is going to be open. And so she's like, hey, I'm going to go get in that line. I'm like, actually, these people are ahead of us. So why don't you just stand there and then we'll let them get in and we'll stop people from behind us from cutting. This lady behind us tried to give some attitude and I turned and just gave her a look that it's the whole 6'8" I will eat you look. Like I didn't say anything. I just
you don't have to.
Yeah, I just let her know like we're gonna take care of these people because these people were not. They may have been American citizens, but they did not speak English. Okay, so I don't want to assume, but they were having a hard time speaking to the gentleman at the thing because I believe they were speaking Chinese. I believe, and I only know a little bit because we had international students book Chinese, and so that was the issue. And so people were like, there were like 4 people behind them. So me and my wife let those people go into that middle line. We didn't cut. We made sure everybody got in through ferry. We get our stuff, and to get onto the ferry, people are cutting and pushing and again, I gave a couple looks, said, nope, not here. This isn't happening. We're just gonna go get on the boat. Everyone's fine. So we get to the parking lot, we get in the car. We drive to this magical place called Wawa. Do you know what Wawa is?
No, I've never heard of that.
Wawa is like a fancy 7-Eleven. Okay. They make Subway style subs. They have an amazing vending machine. It's one of those fancy ones that does all the flavors and all the sodas. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Grape Sprite.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's banging. That's actually what I had today. I had grape Sprite.
Grape Sprite is amazing.
Yeah. I don't know why Sprite's not jumping on that. Like grape Sprite should happen all the time.
For real, it should be in the bottles.
Yes,
in the grocery store. I need to be able to buy that
all the time. And so I got my grape Sprite. I got a tuna fish sandwich at 12:15. Was when we got back to Wawa and ate it. Got online for the show. Watched Brian Arker's speech. I didn't want to watch Brian Arker's speech live because that would have been for me. And it was more important for me to do something for Lace tonight. So I'm really proud of myself for making that choice. Not as like pat myself in the back, like proud of myself as I'm growing as a husband. 10 years in, some husbands don't grow. I think it's very important that I grow. Now, this leads us to our topic for tonight. I was going to do a funny one of us talking about like when we decided we were going to propose and those stories. That was going to be our topic, but I flipped it because of my experience tonight. I want to talk about the time that we lost our salvation and the time we found our salvation. Ooh. And so I'll go first. Let me knock these out for you. And again, if you don't want to get too serious, you don't have to, but I'm going to get very serious on one.
Yeah.
Okay. So a time in my life I lost my salvation. I was a sophomore in high school. I was playing varsity football. I was the height I am now and about 295 pounds. I was a scary human being. I thought that I was Brian Dawkins, who also in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. I did because I loved rolling up my jersey so that you could see the biceps and the triceps just going nuts. I loved having my visor on, which was for medical purposes. You have to get that signed to be able to wear it in the state of Oregon. And I just wanted to go out there and punish people. And one day, a gentleman hit me in an inappropriate place to hit a male. It's probably inappropriate to hit anybody there. I'm just saying, male or female. And then proceeded to make a comment. I'm not going to say what he did, like what he said. The next play, I took a cheap shot on that guy. A dirty, disrespectful, disgracing the game of football cheap shot that led to his appendix bursting. Oh, being rushed to the hospital. It is a moment that I will regret the rest of my life because I affected his life because of my pettiness. And I did go ask that man for forgiveness. He did give it to me. And I'll remember that was the time I lost my salvation. How I found my salvation, and this is my serious topic. This is that wasn't the serious one. That was just me being dumb and petty and me learning that with my size comes some responsibility that I need to focus on. When I first met my wife, we were in college. And I did not know what it meant to be a Christian. I wasn't saved. And I remember going home over Christmas break to bounce at a gentleman's club in Portland called Deja Vu. I think Deja Vus are everywhere, but
yeah, they are. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm bouncing, and my boss comes to me and says, "Big Mo, you want to make an extra $200 tonight?" I go, "Okay, what you need me to do?" And he goes, "I need you to walk this girl from the dressing room to the front and stand by her during her shows." And I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, she just turned 18. Minors can't be on the floor unless they're accompanied by an adult." Now, I'd only at this point in my life ever worked the door. So he took me and for the next hour, I walked this baby to and from the stage and watched men fondle and just the most disgusting thing imaginable for somebody who is going into school to become a teacher. And I remember calling my wife and knowing that I could never unsee that night.
Mm-hmm.
And it led to a conversation that led to her praying for me, that led to me quitting, that led to another person getting in my life and me getting saved and becoming a Christian. And I'll remember that finding my salvation moment forever. Because I realized there are things on this planet that are just disgusting and disturbing that I don't want to be a part of and that I want to be better. So that's my finding salvation. So right now, Dev, let's hear yours.
So, it's one of those things where you really got to look back and kind of like take a glance at your life and try to figure out, places where you went wrong, and things that like course corrected you, put you on that right path. It's hard with the losing salvation, just because I have a very, very, very long fuse. It's hard to really trigger me to make me like go off in any kind of way. And the ones that stand out are always end up being like me fighting with my best friends, which is weird. There was this one moment, I think I was in like junior high, and my boy Cam was just, I don't even remember what the incident was. I think it was actually something to do with my sister. Like they were talking about my sister or something, and I just had it. And I went off on him and was ready to just, throw them things and get down with him. And our other little homeboy, he's probably, I think he was 2 years younger than us at the time. And he was a little dude. Now, I'm by no means a big guy. Like I'm just average, probably below average when it comes to height wise. I don't look like an adult as far as I'm concerned. I still feel like I'm in high school. But this dude, like he jumps in front of me and he's trying to stop me from fighting. And I just haul off on him. Like I think I gave him like a combo, like one to the stomach, hit him in the head, hit him on his back, and like threw him on the floor. And like just hauled off of me. He's a little kid at this point. Like he's smaller than me, like way smaller. And I was just so riled up at the time that he just got in my face and he just ended up getting what was coming. And I felt horrible about that because he was not the person that I was upset with or angry at all. He just happened to get in my face at the wrong time when my very, very long fuse finally went off. And, I talked to him and apologized and everything and got the apology from him, or got the apology to him, and he accepted it and everything. But it just was one of those moments I was like, oh my God, what was I thinking? What was I doing? Like going off on this little kid like that when the person I'm angry at isn't even him. So that's that one.
Yeah.
When it comes to like finding my salvation, I kind of feel like that's like an ongoing everyday thing, just with, the world in the state that it is, America in the state is, like I'm constantly trying to realign myself. Like there's just so many things that make me angry on a regular basis. And a lot of the times I end up just finding my salvation through my kids, man. Like just trying to make sure that I'm a better person and setting a better example for them, and not being, just giving into that animalistic just rage that I feel from a lot of the things that just are happening lately, and just trying to make sure that I put on a better face and model something better for them, so that when my son is coming up in this day and age, like certain things that may send me one way, I don't go that way, and he sees that, and it just models a better example for him to live out his life, and that I'm basically just being a great role model for him to model a more Christian, more positive life.
Yeah. I woke up hot today, by the way. Hot.
I can imagine.
Like
I can imagine.
So I had to go to a football clinic this morning from 8 to 12 in the morning. So I woke up at about 6:15. Jumped in the shower, brushed my teeth, and making my first cup of coffee, and I opened up Twitter.
Yeah.
And I snapped for a second. Like I will be one of the first people to tell people I do not respect our president. I'm not a fan. I'm not. I If I had the power, he would have been impeached.
Right.
Greg Pak, he's a writer for the whole comics. He actually sent up a link and said, "Hey, if you have an issue with our president, contact your senator." And I did. And I left a very angry message saying, "Dude, y'all, come on. This is horrible." But that message, so the dude who builds a school, who has all of his kids through the same woman, I don't think Trump has that. I don't think all of his kids are with the same person. You want to insult his intelligence?
Right.
Like, I just and so I posted on Twitter. I voted once in my entire life. One time. It was for Barack Obama on his first term. I just felt the need to represent for someone from Chicago, another loyal person who loves the Bears the way I do. And I was like, I got you, BO. And plus, I'm gonna tell you right now, Michelle Obama and I, our eyes haven't met yet. If they ever do, I feel there are sparks there. I feel like her initials, M-O, my name, Mo. It is a thing, folks. And so me and Michelle, I've had a crush on Michelle Obama for a long time. And so I voted for Barack. And I have no problem saying that. Like, I'm very proud of the fact that he turned out to be a president who did a lot of good things. Did he do things I didn't like? Yes. Barack made a couple choices I wasn't a fan of, but that's part of the job. I will vote again for this next term. And I will make sure that my vote counts for someone who is going to actually do something and stop being on Twitter posting idiotic things.
Oh my God, yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the stuff I'm talking about that just puts you in a rage. Like, I don't understand why he feels the need to do a lot of that. Like, dude, you should be in the Oval Office with a pen that make it great again. Instead of constantly berating people and bullying and just saying the nonsense that you say on Twitter. Like, there's absolutely no need for that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that completely.
I just mean, I think it's like, oh, this is what I have to live in and grow in, and this is what my kids know, and it's just sad. It's just really, really sad that this is the type of thing that we have to deal with.
Yeah, no, it's bonkers. Like, this is uncharted water for the OT. We've put a foot in before, but we've never like dove in on these kind of topics, and it's not because like we don't want to. It's because like we're here about relationships. We're here about having these conversations. But this is one of those ones where like I was just so appalled. Like, I was just so like, are you serious right now? Like, is this really a thing? Are you really coming at a dude who is doing your job? See, I believe fully that the president of the United States should have somebody in charge of education fixing the problem.
So he knows something about education and cares.
Yes, that'd be phenomenal. But LeBron's doing it.
Right.
Other athletes are doing it. They're doing your job. Like, you should be applauding. You should be like, hey, thank you so much for taking care of these kids that I'm not taking care of.
Yeah. And the worst part is Malone's behind him and is like, oh my God, yeah, he's doing amazing. I would love to visit the school and everything. And it's just like, what is going on? You would think that it'd be like different with the two of them, but it just seems like they're just as divided as the country is right now. And it is, you don't even, every day you wake up, you open up Twitter, you're thinking like, what did he tweet now? What did he do today? Because all of these terrible, nasty things about everybody, like, you know, who we'd expect, like maybe Putin say something bad about. Oh no, that's one of those very fine individuals on both sides type of things, and it's frustrating. It sends me into just a fit of rage, and it's just one of those things that every day you wake up and you're like, all right, what do I got to deal with today? What nonsense am I going to run in today on social media or Twitter or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Now, my heart and my mind are currently at a crossroads. My heart says, hey, let's lighten it up and talk about one of these questions we have. My mind says there are things in the PSVG neighborhood that are negative that I want to bring to light. So I'm going to follow my heart. So, first question. Our girl Shy reached out. She sent me a text message and was like, hey, coach, I know you're out of questions. So would you like some more? I was like, Kid, yes, I would love some more.
What up,
she,
Shy?
wonderful child, wonderful human being. So she said, how far into the episode do you think Kevin actually listens? So here we go, Kevin, if you find this and put a 10-second Boys to Men clip, any song, I don't care what song, 10 seconds. Because I think that's where we said we couldn't get sued, right?
I think it's like 10 or something like that. Yeah, maybe
Kevin,
6.
if you do that, right, at the first edit, the first listen that we're going to have next Tuesday, I will buy each one of your children a $10 video game currency for any system they want. I will even buy the Nintendo one. Okay, I don't know what they're going to buy on there, but I'll buy one for Nintendo. I'll buy a Sony or an Xbox, whatever system your children want the currency, I will buy it. Okay, so listeners, if you hear a little Boys to Men right now, it means I owe somebody some money.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it a step further. You can't be random. You have to have Kevin and actually want to hear Motown Philly. All right. That's what I want to hear, Kevin. Let's see if you're listening.
Here's the best part. Like, he even tells us, hey, is there anything we need to know we edit? And we're like, no, everything's fine. And then we add this. But this is a question from a listener. So, like, I feel like it's the right way to go about it.
I agree. And this
next,
is actually going to so you didn't even give us, slack about, you were late. So,
yeah. So, see there. We're on time this time. We're on time this time. Now, the next question, again, this is from, I'm not sure the students. So, these all could be from Shy. They could be mixed match from kids. Okay, so the next one, here we go. She wants to know, if you and I were going to become a superhero team, who would we be? Now, I feel like she should know this if she listened.
Yeah, I was going to say.
This has been talked about in the past. We're Thor and Hulk.
Pretty much.
Okay, like it's already been predetermined. All right. Oh, man. Do you remember when I messed up and called Thor the god of thunder or lightning?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
So I don't remember who it was, but it was one of my friends like, hey, I'm listening to the old OT catalog. And then I stumbled onto the PSVG one with Donnie in the episodes. I go, yeah, he was like, remember when you did this? And I was like, oh God. And then, aren't you a comic fan? Like, I am a comic fan. I just messed up because it was late. I was tired. Like, I was very sunburnt and dehydrated that day. So a slip of the mouth can happen.
It happens.
They did not think they didn't think that was a good answer. It is what it is. Okay.
So I think that if there was any other duo that we might be, if it's not Thor and Hulk, it might be the Heroes for Hire. It might be Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Yeah. I don't know who I would be in that group. I feel like I have a couple Luke qualities and I have a couple Rand qualities.
See, Danny Rand is like the eternal optimist, though. So you're definitely Danny Rand.
I would fit in some Rand.
He's like he's good natured. He's about doing what's right, no matter what. And I just feel like you embody a lot of that. But you get down when you got to, because like when it's a bad guy, it's going down. Yeah. So
I think if we're talking MCU, I would be Rand, you would be Luke. I think if we're talking comic books, I think those roles flip. Because Luke, like, he doesn't curse. He's always doing what he's told from his wife. Like, that kind of stuff like that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I got some Luke in me. So I'm going to go with MC. If we're doing MCU proper, yeah, I'm Danny Rand. And I'm cool with it. But Danny Rand, hilarious in the Luke Cage stuff.
Yeah.
Had me rolling. Did you finish that?
Of course.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Except for that ending. Gosh, that ending. Can we do spoilers? Are we allowed? Can OT spoil?
We can.
Okay.
It's been long enough. We're about to get Daredevil season 3 in the fall, and we're about to get Iron Fist in September. Luke Cage was a while ago. We can spoil it.
All right. So if you have not finished Luke Cage and plan on it, skip the next minute and a half. We're gonna just talk about this real quick. Yeah. Okay. If you want to listen, let's go. Because we got some pretty good feedback on my Star Wars rant.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
I was like, oh man, like
That was a
some
great
actual
observation.
Star Wars enthusiasts reached out and were like, you know what? I think you have a valid point. I was like, all right. I wasn't sure. I felt like I was grasping at straws on that. Okay. So my issue with the ending was that's not Heroes for Hire.
Mm-mm.
I totally thought that's where that was going.
Me too. They set it up so perfectly to become that. And then to go this route, basically becoming like the kingpin,
Yeah, bad guy Luke.
it just soured me so bad. I'm like, you mean to tell me that he has to be all the stereotypes? He can't rise above any of it, and that's so not his character. You really made it to the point where he could not be like, you know what, this ain't right. Like when he said burn it to the ground, like I'm like, yes, that is exactly what needs to happen. We need to get rid of this. But instead, he becomes so weak and so scared to actually, you know, try to make a change, like a positive change, that he just decides to become basically Mariah. Like,
Makes no sense to me.
None. After already losing what the nurse, I can't remember her name right now. I'm so mad.
Yeah.
Like, really, like we had to be all the stereotypes. He had to be the angry black dude that puts a hole in the wall that scares off the woman, and then he's too weak to just realize, all right, let's burn this down. Let's get rid of this because it doesn't serve anything positive. He decides, okay, well, I can't kill them all, so and they're above the law in a way, so I'm gonna have to work with them instead of just being like, nah, you coming to Harlem is going down. End of story.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it because again, that goes against everything I've read of Luke Cage in the comics.
Right.
The reason I own a Luke Cage statue and a Luke Cage pop and like 5 or 6 different Heroes for Hire comics is Luke Cage has always been like, what's that word? When you're above, your integrity is like so strong, you don't have to worry about that person like falling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Luke Cage doesn't even swear.
Right.
Okay. Like that's the Luke Cage that I'm used to. The one who's like, Christmas, because he's not going to curse. Like that's my Luke Cage. And
the
now
swear jar in Pops. Like,
yes. All right. So that was our 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you've watched the Luke Cage and you have the same concerns, please reach out because we need more talk about this because I don't understand why Marvel fans were not in an uproar for that. Like we get in an uproar over the stupidest thing in Star Wars, but people can't be like, hey, why do we make Luke Cage a bad guy? That's stupid. Right. Shouldn't happen. All right. So our last question is, what game are you thinking? Like, and again, she posed it this way. Are you thinking is going to take up the most of your next year? So what game do you think you're going to be devoting your hours to?
Are we talking 2019? Or are we talking like fall 28?
Let's block it. School year. Because I remember she's going to be a junior.
Okay.
So September to next June. Where's the most of your time going?
I mean, for me, it's always going to be Destiny. As long as they keep pumping out content, that's where the majority of my time is going to be. However, I am extremely tempted to join World of Warcraft. Azeroth looks freaking amazing. That is, for those who don't know, World of Warcraft is my #1 favorite game of all time. I love the story. I love the lore. I spend much time in that world continues to evolve and grow, and the characters continue to evolve and grow. Every time they release an expansion and they release these amazing trailers, they always pull me back in every single time. So that is something that always, anytime they have an expansion, I'm always like, they're tugging at my heartstrings and I want to jump back in. But then I realize I have 2 children and I work a regular job and I don't have the time to devote to a game such as World of Warcraft, which is why I love Destiny so much, because it gives me a lot of what World of Warcraft does, but on a much more manageable time frame. Nice. So yeah, I imagine that's going to be what I devote the majority of my time to. However, with Live and Madden and Mo and Leagues, there may be a possibility that I divulge a lot of time into those 2 games as well. So we'll see.
Yep. So I'm gonna tell you some inside information. So I have played 40 hours of Madden since Thursday.
Wow.
Was it that much? Yeah, because I spent all day Thursday. That was 11 hours. I spent almost, I don't even want to tell you how many hours yesterday I spent playing Madden.
That is 2 work weeks worth of Madden.
Yeah, from 12 o'clock until we went to church. So 6:30, I played Madden. So maybe it's not exactly 40. It's a lot of hours. This Madden, I canceled Red Dead 2. I canceled my pre-order for it because I am not going to have time to get to it if I'm playing Madden this much right now. Like, and this is, again, this is not me saying Red Dead 2 is going to be a horrible game. I'm sure Red Dead 2 is going to be great. I'm sure everyone's going to love it. But I'm telling you right now that if I'm loving Madden this much, and I already have played NHL 19 and know that I'm going to love that one a lot, and NBA Live 19 is giving me the WNBA players I want, I might not be able to do it might not have the franchise mode.
Right.
We've asked, right?
Yes, we have, and they have not confirmed.
Haven't confirmed or denied it. So right now, I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be in there, but I'm going to be at least able to play as Elena Delle Donne in the park, which I'm telling you that's going to be 25, 30 hours of me going out there and dropping threes on people and posting people up. It's going to be great.
Yeah, buddy.
But with those 3 sports games plus FIFA, like I normally get in 20 to 30 hours of FIFA before Christmas break, like every year, just because it's just so good. Like it's just a great game. You take all these sports games plus, did you see me? I streamed Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer for the PSVG YouTube. Luke Lore jumped in and he was talking to me a little bit. He's like, "Man, it looks pretty good. It's the world's a little empty." I'm like, "Yeah, for now," but they were only doing 6 versus 6 matches. I'm just having a blast. So for me, that means an open world game like Red Dead, I'm not even gonna see until spring break.
Right.
So for me, like if I'm not going to see it to spring break, I'm not going to put money on my pre-order. I'm going to move that money towards something else, and then I'll buy it in the bargain bin, next year.
The game of the year edition with all the bells and whistles for half the cost.
DLC and stuff, and I'll get it. Yeah, instead of spending $100, I'll spend $49. I'm fine with that. Yep. So literally, I went and canceled like 5 or 6 pre-orders that were coming out this fall because I'm like, I'm not going to have time for you. I was really excited for Battlefield this year. I canceled my Battlefield pre-order.
Wow.
I get my 10 hours on EA Access. That'll give me a taste. If it's really good, I'm sure I'll still go pick it up. But I was like, I don't need these games pre-ordered. I canceled my Darksiders pre-order. I love Darksiders. Like, there's no point because I'm not going to get to a game that big until March. Maybe not even till the summer.
Yeah.
And it's just because Madden's that good.
Wow.
They fixed all of the problems I had with Ultimate Team. So far, I've in all these hours, I've leveled up my Ultimate Team. I've gone through about half an actual franchise, but no more player contracts in Ultimate Team, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I can just get the guys I want and upgrade them. Like literally, like you trade things in, and some of them are worth coins and some of them are worth training points. Then you dump the training points in to level up your player. So my Brian Urlacher card went from being like, I think he was like a 70 when I got it out of the pack. It's now up to like an 85.
Dang.
Just from me dumping training points into it. It's awesome. Like I love this new setup. And this is the most time I've ever spent playing Ultimate Team. I'm not an Ultimate Team guy because I don't spend my own personal money.
Right.
But I'm spending gold and buying packs and leveling up those people.
They have really, really dumped into the Ultimate Team. Like it's really taken off. It's interesting how they've made that shift with Madden. Like you've gone from like what people play with their traditional franchises and their online leagues, and now it's just become all about MUT. It's crazy how that shift has happened. And I have a couple of friends who literally they buy systems just to play Madden. and they have yet to buy into the Ultimate Team. I'm like, y'all need to just stop tripping. I understand, like, you guys are all about the head-to-head and you just want to play Madden. But I'm like, y'all need to actually just take a second to invest in the Ultimate Team and like give it a chance, because it's a mode that's not it's a mode they keep iterating and making better, and like that, are like the Madden experience is starting to come into play. People are starting to play Madden 4 instead of just a regular head-to-head. But like my boys, like literally, Madden is like life for them. It's the one game they get up for every year. It's the only game the vast majority of them play. And last year, like the zones, I guess, were so bad that like one of my guys who really only cares about playing defense, much like you, he's like, I don't even want to play offense at all. Like he'll play offense, but it's more like his whole idea is like, you know, ground and pound the offense and then just deny them on offense. He wants a low scoring game. For him, a 7-3 game is the best kind of game you can ever have. So he's really excited about, you know, the zones being like fixed and actually able to run a bunch of like schemes to just confuse the offense. So I know he's been like chomping at the bit. Like he's been thinking about buying the Hall of Fame edition to play early. That's how like hype he is. He doesn't play much at all. He's like, there's nothing in the Hall of Fame edition that I even care about. I just want the game as early as possible. I tried to tell him to get it on Xbox last year. Like when this gen started, I told him like, look, y'all only play Madden. You guys should probably get Xboxes because they have the deal with them and they got the EA access thing. Like you guys might want to just go like, no, we're just gonna ride with you and get the PS4. I'm like, y'all don't even play anything on PS4. Like all y'all play is Madden.
But that's the mistake, because Madden is way better on the Xbox, and it has been. Madden 25, big example. Madden 25 on the Xbox blew out the one on the PS4. PS4 one sold more, I believe, but it was a better game on the Xbox. I only know because I had both. This will be, since launch, I've bought every Madden on both systems.
Really?
I've played it the most on PC right now. Oh, I finished my 10 hours on Xbox the first day, so that 10-hour service is done. I'm playing on PC, and oh my goodness, Devin, is it pretty?
Oh like, my god, dude! The screenshot that I shared, I saw that. Oh man.
Yeah, it's
PC gaming is
and
real.
The best part is I just plug in one of my extra controllers and play on the controller. Right. It's the exact same feel. I don't know how people play with the mouse. Like if you even try, that's bonkers.
I can't even imagine playing a Madden with the keyboard and mouse. It even makes sense to me. Like I can't imagine that. Like I get some shooters and other stuff, but Madden on a keyboard and mouse, what?
So what they do is if you use the mouse, a reticle pops up, like I want to say like lower quarter of the screen. And whichever way the mouse you move it, that is the direction the guy starts running. So if I move my mouse to the left, he starts turning to the left. If I go up a little bit, he's still going left, but he's turning upfield. Like it's pretty quick that way. But my problem is I could not get. I tried it. I was trying like, okay, can I juke? I'm not fast enough pushing the buttons in time, and it was bad. I threw like 3 picks because I was throwing the wrong guy.
Right. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel like it would feel intuitive or just, I can't even. No, I don't even want to think about it. Give me a controller.
Yeah. So that's the game I'm going to play the most. It's probably going to be a combination of sports games. Every year when I get my that December thing, what game did you play the most? It's always funny because it's like from January to like August, I put in between 100 to 200 hours of the previous Madden, and from August till December, I put in another 100 to 200 hours into the new Madden. So the top of my list is always 2 Madden games, and I just laugh. I'm like, oh, that's great.
I mean, it's what we expect, you know.
Again,
but you play everything. It's amazing to me how much time you divulge into just Madden, and you literally like the other game on it.
Yeah, I try to make sure I'm a well-rounded gamer and that I try everything. I think I'm stopping that this year, though. Like, I legit don't think I'm going to buy any more Switch games. I think I'm going to pick up FIFA. I'm probably going to skip Smash because I played Smash. I went and bought it on the 3DS, and I didn't enjoy it. Like, if it's like that, then it's not for me. I'm going to have to watch it a couple times to see if it's something I want to do. But if I watch it and see, like, I'm going to enjoy it. Like, I still enjoy Mario Kart when I'm playing with friends. Like, that's a good time.
Did you like go into their the Make Us Better Drunken Cart stream at all today?
No, I was at Disney World.
Yeah, because I was gonna say we should go in and troll them because we don't really care about Cart or Nintendo.
Yeah, no, that would be funny. We should have done that. But like, there are a lot of games I'm not picking up Spider-Man, but again, I don't have an interest in playing that one. Like, it's just I don't.
That hurts my heart, Mo. That hurts my heart.
But I already talked to you and Haley about it. Like, it's not that I don't think the game's gonna be good. I'm sure the game's gonna be great. But my issue is it doesn't tie in with the MCU. There's no story in there. My Spider-Man is Miles Morales.
He's in the game. Just
I know he is, but he's not you can't play as just him.
We don't know that yet.
If we find out that I can play just as Miles Morales, I'll buy it.
So are you hyped for the Spider-Verse movie?
I am. I think that's gonna be so good.
God. I can't wait for that.
Just
watching him makes me.
Yeah, no, I enjoy that stuff. Now, we don't have any more questions, but do you have any curveballs?
I do have a curveball.
Oh, curveball time! Curveball.
All right, so this one it's just fun, happy, silly stuff. My curveballs are always going to be probably something just ridiculous. So this one is something that we probably both have run into. And it's always a weird thing depending on the person. So the question is, do you mind when your wife or partner wants a bite of your food at a restaurant you guys are out to eat? I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay, I was like, I need to think this one through.
But here's the funny thing. I am not a food person. I'm not a foodie. If we're somewhere 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get the chicken, whether it's fingers or something like that. I'm going to get that. I don't really experiment a whole lot with food. It's just I'm not into food in that way. So out to eat, if it's just me and my wife or if it's like us and friends, know that I've enjoyed my food because you will look up and food is gone. And they're like, where did it even go? I wanted to try that. I wanted to share that. But the thing was, I was quiet. I scrolled down because it was delicious. And now it's gone. And no, you can't have none. It's gone. And if it's something that I really enjoy and you're trying to get a bite of it, I'm going to give you the eye. Like, stop. I actually enjoy this. Y'all know I don't like food like that. So no, I don't want to share. I got this because you like my wife, she's funny. Like she always like will look and see what are we getting. Are you gonna get something I want to try? I'm like, man, I don't think like that. I don't want to try with you because you probably have no desire in trying. But if I get something you want, I want to eat all my food. So yeah, it ends up being like my wife also gets upset with me because when we go out to eat, one of two things happens. My food is all gone within like light speed, and then she has a plate full of food, and then she feels like she looks like she's got a lot of food, so that looks bad on her. Or she eats the vast majority of my food, and I didn't like what I had, so my plate is full, and all her food is gone, so she looks like she's like eating too much. So no, I don't like it. I mind when you ask for a bite of my food if it's something that I actually like.
Okay, so as I'm thinking about this, if it's just with me and my wife, if it's a main course, yeah, go for it. I don't that doesn't affect me. The sides is where I get picky. If we go to Red Lobster and I get the pick 2, which when I do it, I get salmon and salmon, and then they go, okay, you get 2 sides, and I go, I want mashed potatoes and mashed potatoes. She can try some of the salmon. You're not touching the mashed potatoes. Like the sides, the ones I don't play with. Or if we go to Olive Garden, which I'm not a big Olive Garden fan. I don't particularly enjoy it, but a lot of the people I know do.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's always, hey, let's go to Olive Garden. I'm like, they're like, but it's all you can eat food. Like, and I'm like, all right.
But it's gotta be all I can eat food that I want.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they don't have a lot of things that I actually like. Like their chicken parmesan, it's just a little salty. It's not as good as, there are a couple places here in Orlando that make a really good chicken parm, but Olive Garden's not one of them. But if it's like those breadsticks come out and you take 2, there's a problem. Everybody gets 1. Then we decide what happens to the extra. You don't just start off with 2. You know what I mean?
Lobster. Whoa.
And that's the thing is like the sides are the things I like the most. Like, you know what I mean? Like No. Everybody gets a breadstick, and then you go for the second one. And if you double dip a breadstick, we have a problem.
Yeah, man. It's like you don't double dip the chip, you don't double dip the breadstick.
No.
One dip, man. Stop tripping.
And if you're one of those people who needs sauce on every bite, you pour a little bit on your plate.
I was gonna say, yeah, you pour some on your plate, you get your own.
Yep. Respect other people's mouths. Okay, let's
real talk.
Oh man. Okay, that was a good one.
And
now, I had a curveball.
How do you get a curveball?
Because I can. But I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna holster the curveball.
All right.
I'm just gonna ask a question. You get to nominate a player for NBA, NFL, whatever, Hall of Fame, who is just somebody you love. They're not technically, when you look at their stat line, a Hall of Famer. Who do you put in? Okay, and I'm going to give you my example.
Okay.
Kevin the Duckworth. NBA All-Star, 7-foot skyhook center for the Portland Trailblazers. Also played for the Washington Bullets, and I believe was drafted by the San Antonio Spurs. I feel like I'm like 87% right on that. So if you fact check that, I'd appreciate that.
I'm gonna do that right now. Yeah.
Okay. Kevin Duckworth is one of those guys that I will love for the rest of my life. You see, the young coach was 6'8", going into like the middle of 8th grade. Okay, I was a giant. I was just a normal, very large human being. I was moving people around like on accident. Like literally, like I would be walking down the hallway and like someone would call your name and I would turn around. When I turned around, my backpack would hit like 3 people and move them against the wall. Like some of that happened to me all the time. Oh my goodness. Tall story from today. Remind me to tell the touch of the Kevin Duckworth.
Okay.
Seeing Kevin Duckworth on TV, being a role model in the community, being just an amazing human being, being somebody I could look up to as a Blazer fan, completely helped me with understanding like what I was doing and how to be that gentle giant that he was. So I love the Duck. Love the Duck. So he was drafted by the Spurs.
You were correct. He was drafted by the Spurs in '86. Yeah. But he played for Portland from '86 to '93, then the Bullets from '93 to '95, the Bucks for a year, and then the Clippers for a year.
Yeah, the Duck, man. Good guy.
Oh, Kevin Duckworth. Average of 8 points, 3 rebounds.
For his whole career?
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. 11 points, 5 rebounds.
Okay. I was like, man, the Duck was way better than that, I thought. I love the Duck. So I would nominate the Duck for the NBA Hall of Fame.
So when you first said this, the player that came to mind for me is actually Jason Williams.
Okay.
I love that dude. Like, he was just so much fun to watch on the court. Even now, like, he still plays in like rec leagues, and it's so much fun to watch on the court. Like, he brought like just M1 style, dude. He had an elbow pass. Like, he would be in the gym all night just hitting all with passes, working on like jumpers and this and that, and he could shoot. But like his whole thing was like perfect pass. I've always, when I play, I always myself as like somebody who can find the open man and get the easy bucket. And just him play with his style and his fun and just the elbow pass, just the crazy hype dribble, the way he crossed over Gary Payton, had Gary Payton looking back like, what? Like that excitement that he brought at that time, like it's just something that I always look back on. And I just loved him. And like the whole like fun between him and Randy Moss, like their actual relationship, and like the fact that they played in high school and like that one Nike commercial, the Good Old Boys, like it personified a very specific time period for me in basketball and just sports and just really, really loved. And I just enjoyed his year in the NBA. Just top, he was just a really, really, really solid fundamental basketball player that was also outside the lines with so many things just in terms of his game. And he was just a blast to watch. And Randy Moss get enshrined today, I was like, man, we need to just get J-Dub in there, man. Stop playing.
With him, if he could have stayed healthy for like 3 more seasons, he would be in contention. Yeah. Like he really would be. He was a good ball player. Now, my tall story from today. We'll do this and then we'll move on. And so we're in line for like an hour and a half trying to get on the ferry, right? And I'm trying to be small. Like I take the shoulders, like this is the normal stance, like you see. And I take the shoulders, like bring them in, like trying to like keep myself from like bumping into people. And I was like, man, my shoulders, like again, I'm like scrunching myself up. I'm feeling a little sore. So I reach up and I grab this metal bar, like on top of like the little tent covering people. And I'm like, oh, and I just stretch out and then I flip and do it with the other arm. As I do it, this little guy in the sailor outfit who's like watching the line comes running over and goes, sir, could you not jump up and, oh, you're just tall. And I'm just like, yes, I'm just tall. Like I'm not like jumping up and hanging on this thing. I'm just like trying to stretch out my shoulders. And so
man,
it was so nice though. Like the gentleman next to me was like, "Oh, he was just stretching out. He's like trying to like be small for us." And everybody started laughing. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to help out. Like I feel a little confined up in here." It was really funny. I had a good time.
Oh man,
being tall,
gentle giant, sir.
Again, I'd rather be the gentle one than those mean ones. BFG style. Gotta remember that. I really enjoyed that movie. I know. I probably shouldn't have, but it was good. Like,
I think it was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
When he goes, they go talk to the queen, and the queen's like, "Yeah, I got your back." And then like they save the day. I'm like, "Oh man, that's good stuff." Respect, Queen Bee. Respect. All right. So now as we wrap up, we got our game of the year talk. So my game of the year is I'm still claiming NHL 19. I'm still claiming it will be my game of the year.
Over Madden?
Dude, I love Madden.
And you've played it now?
I'm telling you right now.
Oh my God. This has got to be something.
Listen, here's the thing.
Special.
Do you remember the first time you played My Park on live? Like when you would, or 2K, either one.
2K,
yeah. And you jump in and you're playing against your friends and having a good time. I'm not saying I can tell you that NHL does a similar thing, but NHL does a similar thing, and it is so dope. I'm just telling you, this game has everything I want in a skating game, like in a hockey game, because you finally have some control in what you're doing, and it's way better. The creative player stuff was fine in the last couple. This one steps it up a notch, and dude, I'm hype. I'm ready to go all in NHL 19.
Interesting.
My love for Madden is still huge, but the changes NHL 19's made has me like next level. Madden got some great reviews. I saw some 9.2s. I saw an 8.9. I saw someone gave it a 10. That was me. But obviously, my game of the year. I'm still claiming NHL 19. When it comes out, people will see and they're gonna go, man, this is a completely different hockey game. It's making hockey more relevant to our communities, more relevant to our culture, and I think it's going to be rewarded. I think NHL is going to do really well this year. I hope.
We need a hockey movie to jumpstart that or something.
Oh my goodness, the Miracle Part 2. how the USA women didn't the USA women won gold, right? We beat Canada.
I don't know. I never saw that movie. I don't know what it's about.
No. I'm talking like recently in like the last Olympics. Our women's team, didn't they beat Canada for the gold medal?
I honestly have no idea.
They should make that movie. And even if we didn't win gold, just say we did. I think that's fine.
Sean Capri, did we beat you guys?
Sean Capri doesn't listen to the OT. There's no way. The head honcho for Make Us Better has no idea.
On the OT. He better listen to the
OT. Listen, being on the OT, lots of people have been on the OT. Doesn't mean they listen. Sean Capri, if you're listening, link's not old enough for games. So if you're listening, I'll donate $10 to something. I'll throw $10 on the Patreon if you're listening. He needs to respond on Tuesday though. None of this responding on like next Friday crap.
Yeah, it's got to be Tuesday, sir.
Tuesday. Man, we called out Kevin. We called out Sean. You know who else we need to call out? Our Patreon producers, Barack Obama. Thank you, Barack, for your kind words on your birthday. Happy birthday for all you've done. You're my president still. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Barack.
Thank you. All right. Your game of the year, Dev.
My game of the year is the Halo Master Chief Collection. I'm kidding.
I thought you were serious. I was like, yeah, that's after the updates, it was so good.
I'm kidding. No,
Oh,
I
my
got
bad.
into the insider thing on that, so I've actually was playing because I've never actually played through all the Halo games. So I was like, let's go ahead and play through the Halo game. So I did actually jump into Halo 1.
The best part on that is flipping between the two views of like the old one and the new one.
Mhm.
I think that's so crazy.
I need to see about that because I was looking to see if I could do that and
I think it's the select button.
the select button.
Yeah.
There's a select button. What button is that?
It's like the two squares. It's like
Ah,
where the select
okay.
button normally would be.
Okay, I'll check that out
Yeah.
because I kind of want to see what it looks like. But it's funny playing through it. I can definitely feel like okay, yeah, I feel all the Destiny inspiration from Halo. I mean, I know it's by Bungie, but you can kind of see a lot of it in the sound and yeah. But I know that's not my game of the year. But it is something that I jumped into.
Respect.
It's probably still Far Cry 5. I mean, that game is just it's fun. I haven't played a whole lot of other stuff, honestly, to detract from it. Like I want to get back into God of War because I feel like that is the one game that could probably knock it out of contention. But I just haven't had the time to really dive in and play a good chunk of that game. But I am about to go play some more Far Cry when we're done here because I just have the itch to jump back into that game. But it just does a lot of things that I really enjoy. It's got the humor. It's got a pretty good protagonist. I haven't got to the ending. Everybody says the ending is like, so we'll see how I feel about that. But
Yeah.
Far Cry 5 kind of still has the crown for me this year.
Respect. Now, we're wrapping up the show. We're saying goodbye. Is there anything that you're working on that you want to share with the folks, with the people, with the family?
Nah, man, just working on life right now. That's about it. Gonna try. I was actually trying to get a stream together earlier, and my computer wants to act retarded and not actually stream properly. Like I can't get it to actually stream without hiccups. I'm like, what is going on? This was working fine before. Now it's like not cooperating. So I'm ready to throw my computer through a wall. Um, and then I was going to stream like directly from the PlayStation, but the problem is if I do the camera view, it actually blocks out portions of the screen that I want to be able to see. Like you can't not have the camera showing while you're playing, like you can do with the chat. Like the chat can still chat, you just don't see it. The camera, however, it leaves it there. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So I'm a little frustrated with that, but I'm gonna troubleshoot my computer and see what I can do to get it to not act special and work properly. But other than that, I haven't had time to do much of anything else. So right now I'm just kind of laying low.
Gotcha. So I wrote the Living Single article. A couple people gave me some shouts out. My dude Steve told me the best news ever. He's like, I read it, I loved it. Coach, wonderful job. You might want to look into Erica Alexander's comic book. And I was like, what? Yes, my girl from Living Single, Erica Alexander, has her own comic.
Say what?
Yes. I will give you the name right now. I'll pull it up. Pulling up the Twitter. Going to the messages. Pulling up
Message for
Steve.
you, sir.
Message for you, sir. Oh, man. Yeah, she has a comic called Concrete Park. So I bought issues 1, 2, and I think 3. And they will be here next week. And I'll be reading that. So very excited to give that a shot. So yeah, got some good comments on that one. I'm putting up, I've been editing and finding typos and mistakes and making sure that I'm fact checking all of my sources for my big article. School starts officially for me on Monday, so that's going to eat up a little bit of that time. And then I streamed a little bit of Black Ops 4. Lucas Lord jumped in, had a good time talking to him. A couple other people jumped in. Really good multiplayer. Again, Call of Duty multiplayer, it's just the thing they do. The things I will need to see for that one, I need to see Rainbow Six level design on introduction to characters. Rainbow Six for the first, I want to say 12 characters. Lobo, if he listens, he can correct me on that. I know it was the first handful. Made these cinematics who kind of told you who this character was and why they were important and how they do what they do. If they don't do that for Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it's a missed opportunity because I don't care about those classes enough to come back in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm kind of excited to see where that goes. But for me, it's just going to be full-time football coach. So other than OT, It's going to be kind of sparingly, so we'll see what I do. But with that, Dev's good.
Yep.
I'm good. Told some stories. Hopefully you stick around this long, unless it's Sean or Kevin, because we know they didn't.
Right.
Oh, and go subscribe to Lucas Lore on Mixer. Make sure you guys do that. Again, he's my favorite streamer right now. He's my ninja. No, he's bigger than that. Who's bigger than Ninja? I don't know. He's Lucas Lore, folks.
That's what he is.
Yes. And with that, it's game over.